Had your rations yet?
Yep.
The grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if he can get out to her. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways. You're fast.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you wanted me to. Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good push and wait for the click. There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow. His name's Jeremy, by the by.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
Be more careful out there, Jeremy.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. The war, the coming apocalypse, man versus machine. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially? Unofficially? Strictly between you and me. I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation.
Sorry. I'll just be...
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
Yes, Mr. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy. You still got a couple decades in you.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. My affliction's bound to be contagious. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. Couple hours out of your day and some light second story work, that's all. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. I'll do what I can. You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand. I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it. Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the archives.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Something you need? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. We don't believe in free anything here in Edgewater. We're a Spacer's Choice company. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. With what? My own blood? Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene. Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching. Whatever it may be, I have developed my own palliative. Boiled canid liver and a splash of ethanol. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. As the good vicar says, work fortifies the spirit of a man. If you want to feel exhausted, try not having any work.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this fella.
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Something I can do for you? You run into any trouble? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners, skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room.
pour enregistrer comme ça, pour plus tard, si je regarde le gameplay, si je m'ennuie, je regarderai mon gameplay, quoi. Pourquoi mon profil? Ah, sur Outer Worlds. En gros, tu sais, il y a eu un truc en mode un truc de colonisation. Sauf que l'avion dans lequel ils étaient, ben, il est perdu, tu vois. Et là, il y a un mec qui a réussi à... Enfin bref. Ouais, ouais.
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How? You probably heard it from one of our local gossip mongers. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Voilà, il va enfin payer sa dette. Non, en vrai, ça a l'air d'être pas mal ce jeu.
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit? Yeah? What about him? Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away, vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead. Suit yourself. What's on your mind? Yeah? Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Couldn't tell you. No, I mean, I'm contractually prohibited from saying anything that might reflect poorly on Spacer's choice. Ah, avoid it. Shouldn't have said that either. Look, forget I said anything. You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the one... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees. Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had, and nary a word of complaint out of your clients. You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Oh ouais, ça lâche des insultes.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
C'est ça ton problème. Qu'est-ce que tu veux, toi? C'est mieux de dire je crois. Parce que quand tu dis rien, bah. Voilà quoi. Tu connais la suite. Comment ça se fait que je suis mort? De feu que je suis mort comme une... Aïe. C'est ça le problème des youtubeurs. Ils commencent des jeux et souvent ils les finissent pas. J'avoue. C'est il a juste à se lever, à aller.
Look out!
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. Yeah, go ahead and ignore the lady with the gun. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Much obliged.
Vous quoi elle? Je vais la...
Oh gosh. If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
C'était quoi déjà ce que je devais faire? Ah oui.
Reed Thompson. You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. Well, if it's all the same to you, then you ought to divert power over to us, shut down Reed's cannery, and scrap it for parts. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed-out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down. Workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town, and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
Punaise. Alors, il y a un deal. Soit je tue les gens qui sont tranquilles, soit je tue une ville où il n'y a que des travailleurs pour survivre. Qu'est-ce que je fais? La vipère ou la vieille qui va bientôt mourir? La vipère.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
Oh. Comment fait-on pour passer?
Unexpected.
Incoming! Whoa, 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 whoa! Everyone all right? You got him!
Processing to investigating.
Incoming!
Il va falloir que je change d'arme apparemment. Liam, t'as vu l'épisode de SNK ou pas? Non? Putain. Mais
The
Gabi,
control
elle
room should be
commence
off
à...
to the right.
Oh là là.
I hope we're doing the right thing. Everyone all right? Got it. Heads down.
Ok. Ouais. Mhm. Ouais, je vois.
switches. That'll be easy enough.
Ah oui, 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 je vois. Ouais. Oui. Oh. Genre. Attends. Tu fais plaisir là. Ah, j'ai tout passé en fait, j'ai tout skip. Ouais, t'inquiète. Et tu sais, je crois que. Wow. Je crois qu'il va sortir en anime, Champion. Ouais, il y a eu un trailer, un truc comme ça. Enfin, je sais plus. Peut-être que c'est un concept qui est local, mais il faudrait que je regarde. Mais je crois qu'il y avait un truc, mais il faudrait que je re-regarde.
Just 2 more.
Processing.
Incoming!
System.
You're not real.
Yeah.
Go away, Phantom.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Halt.
Incoming!
Unexpected noise.
That's the last of them. Time to go. If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
Beginning security.
Sneaky, mon pote. Eh ouais, mon pote. Eh ouais, mon pote. T'es qu'un robot, mon pote. T'es qu'un tas de ferraille, mon pote. Tu pouvais rien faire, mon pote. Eh ouais, mon pote.
Processing.
Incoming!
Wow. De quoi, lui? Viens là, je te dis. Bah! J'ai un sable, mon pote. Je suis zéro. Tu me connais hâte. Tu me connais hâte. Je demande des robots avec une épée, mec.
not sure what the right is.
Je
All
sais
I know
rien,
is
style
the decision's
efficace,
final.
vrai, vocal. Non, attends. Je dois partir où en fait? Oh, en vrai, le décor il est pas mal. Hein. Pas mal. Hein.
Once we do this, there's no... Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough saltuna to fill our bellies anymore.
Qu'est-ce que je
But
m'en
the town's got some good
fous? Je
people.
veux juste mon truc, moi.
Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Et je pense que j'ai besoin.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Imagine, je fais le bâtard. J'écoutais pas en fait. Bah les steaks. Continuer. Qu'est-ce que je fais? Le vipère ou la vieille dame? Moi je pense que la question est vite répondue. Non en fait pas du tout. Vipère ou... 4 ou 5? Bah les steaks. Hop, 3 fois ça. Punaise. Est-ce que tu connais Tokyo Revengers? Ah, bon appétit. Ok.
Halt. Beginning security
Incoming!
control. Required.
Oh, ils sont trop faibles. Ils sont trop faibles, je t'ai dit. Les démons. Oula. Je vais mourir. Alors, qu'est-ce que je fais? Vas-y, tu sais quoi, je vais augmenter ça. Encore. ça en vrai. On va augmenter un peu. Voilà. Et... voilà. Oh, j'ai des capacités de compagnon maintenant. On peut choisir comme ça. Ok, ok. Tu veux aller sur un jeu après ou pas? Bug. Ah.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Pour avoir mon régulateur.
That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be.
J'aurais d'accès. Oh, oh ouais, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire, mon pote?
Stand
Pas le malin
down,
avec
all
moi,
of
mon
you.
pote.
We're done.
Et ouais, mon pote. Je vais prendre mon régulateur. Qu'est-ce que tu vas faire, mon pote? Tu vas rien faire, mon pote. Et ouais, mon pote, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire? Qu'est-ce que tu vas faire? j'ai encore des compétences. Trop bien ce truc. Pas mal. Ah ouais, c'est vrai, je dois faire ce truc bizarre là. J'avais totalement oublié. Enregistrer vos indications. Il est trop bien ce truc. Genre, je peux le prendre. Ah non, je peux pas le prendre. Ouais. Demande. Genre... Attends. En vrai, c'est pas mal, ça. Ouh. Oh, vas-y. Ah oui, ce truc. C'est loin. Ah, c'est pas là où je suis mort. Je crois.
Let's end this quick.
Attends, je les one shot ou...
Lots of them.
Pouah, le boucher. Ah ouais, non, faut pas... Je suis trop monstrueux, moi, en fait. Je suis trop fort. En un coup, mon gars, en un coup. Enfin, lui, deux coups, mais... Attends, le boucher... Oh, l'autre, je l'ai découpé en deux, mec. Découpé en deux.
Here they come!
C'est pas... Oh, sa jambe. Comment on fait pour monter? Comment on fait pour monter? Il est où lui? Ok, toi. Oh merde.
That's the last of them.
Oh, comment je les dégomme. Je suis trop fort, c'est tout. Je vous découpe.
Here they come.
Ah, encore de l'octose. Wow. Explosion. Ah ouais, c'est ça le truc. Oh, 11 cartouches d'octose. Ils ont des traits. Je les ai découpés. Elle est trop bien cette arme. C'est incroyable. Incroyable. Attends, genre j'ai pas pris. Quoi? Ah ouais, je crois que j'ai pas pris les bons trucs. Qu'est-ce que c'est chiant. Ah. Wow. Il y a des... Oula. Des rats ici. Il y a des rats. Wow, c'est quoi ce truc encore? Découpe en deux, les gars.
We did it.
Oh, je suis embouché, moi. Je suis embouché. Faut m'embaucher. Embaucher, m'embaucher. Ça rime. Clé de la salle de premier secours. Calcul. Ah ouais, il faut pirater. Oh. Faut pirater. Alors que je fouille, il y a des rats. C'est ça le problème. Je suis déjà venu ici. Oh, j'ai vu. Oh, hey, j'avais pas vu. Je crois que j'ai bien fait de revenir. En haut. Je ne sais même pas où faut aller. Où est la porte, sérieusement. Il y a un endroit qui mène à l'autre côté, mais C'est mignon là. Genre, il y avait... J'avais même pas vu. Je n'avais même pas vu qu'il y avait une entrée ici. Oh. Oh, j'ai des tas de trucs, je sais même pas comment ça. Oh, flemme de lire. Comme nous en tête. Oh, flemme de lire. Oh, Space Corona, il y avait écrit. Il y avait écrit Space Corona quand même. Je viens d'avoir. Je n'ai toujours pas la clé. Ouvrir ce punaise de truc. Comment je dois faire? Je crois que j'ai abandonné la mission finalement. Il y a des trucs. Ah! Il y a toujours un truc qui me manque. J'ai pas tout fini. Voilà. Ah, ça peut être ça, attends. J'ai chopé 2-3 trucs. Ah,
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Je sais pas quoi lui répondre.
The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I'd disappoint him.
Bah, les steaks. Rien, y'a rien. Faudrait que je fouille des trucs. Oh, vas-y. Oh. Il y a des objets. Sabre ancien. Genre. Attends. 70. Ah. Fusil d'assaut. Lame. Attends. On peut bloquer comme ça. Ah mais c'est à longue portée. Je peux bloquer comme ça. Ouais, je peux bloquer. Ok. Je abandonne la mission. Je vais abandonner la mission. J'arrive. Oui.
Hey, take your time.
Beau gosse le perso. Beau gosse. Ah ouais, c'est vrai, je peux ralentir le truc. Ouah, imagine. Faudrait que je teste. Coucher, lever, coucher, lever. Oula. Vaut mieux s'enfuir. Je sais même pas pourquoi je suis passé par là. Ah mais oui, si je passe par là, si je fais... Ah non, c'est bon. Et merde. Je parle de base de toute façon. Lui, je le sens bien. De waouh, deux coups mec. Waouh, c'est trop bien ce truc.
Where are we headed?
Wow, c'est trop fort ce truc.
Okay, gone quiet.
Ok, là mon pote. Là mon pote. C'est quoi? Oui, c'est ça, c'est ça. Regarde là-bas, voilà. Oh bon, au pire, tu sais quoi? Je lui ai découpé la tête! Je lui ai découpé la tête! Et c'est trop ce truc. Voici comment découper la tête de quelqu'un. Ah oui, c'est vrai, il était là l'autre.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh.
Eh ouais.
Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Franchement, j'accepte. Repris le plancher, je suis allez à vous, vous êtes sûr que ça va bien.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Eh ouais, je suis ton capitaine maintenant. Je suis ton capitaine maintenant. Je suis ton capitaine maintenant.
Yeah, huh?
Je suis ton boss maintenant. Je suis ton boss.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Ok. Mince. Comment on fait pour monter? Ah, j'ai mon propre vaisseau. Et ouais. Oh. Donc ouais, permet de tous les points de... C'était où? Oula, c'est trop cher ce truc. J'ai envie de changer. En plus mon personnage il est beau gosse.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Enfin partie de cette planète avec ses maraudeurs et ses vipères et ses vieilles dames.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Wow, ok. Je dois aller où? Attends, je dois aller où? Ça, je peux que vous pouvez faire n'importe quoi. Allez, on recule avec une... précurseur. Attends. Ah, tu vas me dire qu'il y en a qui vont être échoués.
We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Soit parce que j'ai sans faire esprit de toucher un certain personnage. C'est quoi déjà ça? Ouais, ouais, allô? Vas-y.
Can we talk?
J'avoue.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Ouais. Surtout le moment, tu sais, ça fait tout, et après ça fait avec la voix là. Ouais. Ah ouais. Oh merde. Oh merde. J'ai mis sur mon portable. Dis-toi que, tu vois le jeu auquel je suis, il y a full, comment dire, dialogue. Si t'aimes pas les dialogues avec les PNJ, c'est chiant. Dia.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat.
En vrai, tu mets ça dans un film d'horreur, ça marche. Hein.
I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then. Still reviewing your manifest. Why not head on over to the promenade? Let's... Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Ah, mais il est à l'intérieur, le voile machin là. Ok. En vrai, toi, tu regardes les lives de Farod et tout, mais est-ce que t'as le jeu?
Oh, I did not expect you back so soon, Captain.
Ah ouais. Oh, vas-y, frère. C'est quoi tout ce truc? Flemme de tout lire. Et d'ailleurs, t'en es à où à tes animes? Tu regardes plus. Dis-toi que My Hero Academia, maintenant il y a la première saison qui est sur Netflix. Enfin, la première saison. Enfin, il y a combien de saisons sur Netflix? 2. La saison 4, elle va bientôt sortir. Dis-toi que la saison 5, elle va être incroyable. Ah, tu regardes Dio. Zawardo.
That's not the point. This halfway just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a toss ball stick. I heard you the first time.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
Fais déjà la multiplication en premier. Ouais.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
C'est pas ici.
Identification, please.
Montre le badge de... Je m'appelle Casey.
You've got a ship, but you've never visited Groundbreaker. You must have just dusted off from one of those dirt-side outposts.
Sure did. And now we're in space.
Well, welcome to Groundbreaker. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
Quoi?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Je vais le défoncer, lui.
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. Not gonna lie, you're in a pickle. But Udom's an interesting guy. Might be y'all could come to accords if you play your cards right. Huh. Records show this ain't the first time your ship's been impounded. Seems to get cleared up pretty quick. You might not be in this pickle for long. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind?
Ouais.
Doing me a favor.
Je vais laver, ouais.
Now, hold on, it'll just take a minute. Wanda Dorset over in sickbay. Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Vas-y. Bon up.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Ah.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. The fence. Well, you'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Be seeing you.
J'arrive. Il semblerait qu'il faut que je sauvegarde. Pardonnez-moi. J'en étais où?
Careful where you smoke. The crew bills us for air filtration. What do you think you're doing?
Genre...
Oh. Just be careful next time.
Bon, allez, c'est bon.
Hey, I saw that. What do you think you're doing?
Oh merde.
I don't want any trouble out of you.
Bon, mais... Avec l'intimidation, je l'ai... Mais ouais, mec, c'est moi le boss de la ville. De l'espace, peut-être.
Wish they'd let us off station. Air up here's just recycled spacer parts.
Nat, t'es là ou pas? Je sais que t'es là, Ben. Je sais que t'es là. Non, regarde ça! Dis pas que c'était ouvert. Genre, il m'a ouvert!
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Il fait 69.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You're hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters.
This is Halcyon News.
Faut aller où? Faut aller où? Wow, il me regarde mal, lui. Wow.
Might be tough.
Take him down.
Non, 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 non. Non, 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 non. Mais non. Non, non, non. Non, non, je m'excuse. Non, 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 non. Wow. Ouf. Comment on fait ça? Oh, mais... Non, 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 non. Non, 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 non. Mais comment on fait pour... Mais avec Buga, je me fais démonter. En fait, je voulais aller dans une zone et en fait, elle est interdite. Non, wow, il y a toute la place. Non, 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 non. J'ai rien dit. Non, ça va aller. Ça va aller. Oh, je suis mort, quoi. Oh, ils m'ont démonté. Mais je sais même pas comment on utilise l'holographique machin, là. Punaise, je me suis fait démonter. Ah, mais comment on fait? Attends. Comment on fait pour utiliser ce punaise d'holographique? Oh, attends. En vrai, mon perso, il est beau gosse. C'est incroyable. Oh, oula. Oula. Attends, je peux prendre une autre armure. Ah ouais, ça, c'est celle de base. Ah ouais, c'est abusé. Celle-là. Ah ouais, je vois le combo. Attends. Bah je sais toujours pas comment on fait pour utiliser le gras. Ah oui, c'est vrai. Alors, c'était pareil. Jeton entre déguisement efficace. Mais comment fait-on? Oh merde. Oh non. Oh merde. Non, vraiment. Non. C'est bon. Je suis vraiment mort comme ça. Mais je sais même pas c'est quelle est la touche. J'ai même pas vu la touche. La touche. Il est sur Apex. Je pense qu'il est là parce que tout à l'heure j'ai vu son truc de profil en haut. Tu sais quand tu parles. comment pour l'utiliser? Vraiment, je sais pas comment l'utiliser. Oh, c'est quoi ce truc? Merde. Je peux changer la caméra? Ah non. Radio. Je sais même pas comment on fait. Au pire. Tu m'as pas vu. On va bien ou comment? Pas du tout discret. Salut. Regarde vers là. Oh, le bas.
Huh? This might be tough.
Oh putain, je suis mort. Je suis mort quoi. Mec. Qui? Ah ok.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt the regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least.
What do you think you're doing? Oh, just be careful next time.
Quoi? Il y avait une porte ici. Oh, je suis aveugle ou quoi?
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
Ça fait je ne sais combien de temps que je suis bloqué là. Alors essayer de d'infiltrer l'espace. Oh, elle est là.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient. Or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got
Va les steaks, mon gars.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. I appreciate a man who knows one when he hears it. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Neither do mine, dearie. Old Gladys knows the value of good work. You'll be compensated accordingly, I can promise you that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy.
Combien? 6000. Aïe aïe. Oh, elle est déterminée, elle.
This is House of...
Are you listening? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be ashamed. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate.
Mince.
Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanicals. Name's Captain Irion. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates,
Moi, j'aime
usually
bien,
by
moi.
bandits.
Quoi? Non, je regarde, je regarde.
Surgery mostly.
J'aime bien.
Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
Je suis un hors-la-loi, ok? Je suis un hors-la-loi. pense qu'on va quand même...
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I can't let you near it till it's not. I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with our representative here from the board, Mr. Udom Bedford. His office is on the promenade. Gosh, I wouldn't dream of it. Not unless I got to, and I don't see any reason why I'd gotta. Do you?
She's a good ship, ma'am. Mostly doesn't act up at all.
Happy to hear it.
C'est qui a pété? C'est qui a pété? Non, sérieusement. C'est qui a pété?
I ain't felt so much as a tepid breeze in weeks. I hope Miss Chief Tennyson gets that fixed soon.
Well, it doesn't smell as bad here as Edgewater's graveyard in high summer, so guess I can't complain.
Whew. I'm starting to feel like a sisty roast in all this armor. Have yourself a pleasant day.
Ouais. Genre ils ont la dalle quoi. Et tu sais que là je suis en live là. C'est-à-dire je peux enregistrer ce que tu dis. Ah ouais, j'avoue. Ah bien joué, bien joué. Tu as eu. Sauf si... Non, je...
Go back to Byzantium, you go.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
Tu connais.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped?
Il est mort. Oublié pourquoi je...
Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? It must have been lost with Alex, then. One more tragedy to top the pile. Tell me, how did he die? You're quite right, of course. Best not to pry into such dismal things. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all?
Pas du tout.
You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further
Il apprend
harm.
que je travaille avec lui en fait.
That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal. I hope you don't take my reticence the wrong way. I shouldn't have said anything. Now, how might I assist you?
Ah, enfin. Skill péteur ici.
Rizzo's mock apple cider, a hard cider for a hard life.
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with the local authorities when you passed me by. I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew, so I wandered by, just to take a closer look. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired.
Tu vas servir à quoi, mec?
You're serious, you're giving me a shot. All right. Hang on. I put together a little speech, just in case you asked. Hey there, I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a list of reasons why I believe you should hire me to join the crew of your ship and/or outlaw gang. Yeah, it's a second draft. Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
Sorry. He's funny.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand, I'm your man. That motto is it's a work in progress. Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion, thank you for considering me for your ship crew and/or outlaw gang. I look forward to our adventures together.
I thought that was real good, Felix.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. What do you think? Am I in? Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not going to regret this.
You got a crew now, Felix.
Vraiment. Me bêtement. En vrai, Buga, si tu devrais changer de pseudo, tu changerais en quoi? Non, Ferrari 149. Bah si, tu... Eh. Tu sais pourquoi BGT? BG truqué. En gros, t'es pas un vrai BG, quoi. C'est trop vide, Ragnarok, c'est bien. Ouais. Ragnir. Ignarok. Rognir. Rognir au lieu de Ignir. Rognir. Rognir. C'est pas mal, hein?
Good, you're back. Not that I missed you. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of
À chaque fois on te dit salut Rognir, salut fils de Yinche.
Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. For law's sake, if anyone's receiving this, please send help. What? No!
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the Roseway landing pad. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Anton Crane, Vaughn Cortez, and Orson Shaw. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch, the armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's smuggler's port at Fallbrook. I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness and a lawless land with no corporate presence. You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay for additional data points. I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
Non, en gros, ce sera un truc d'anecdote. J'avoue. Et après, ça va être le président des États-Unis, Joe Biden, qui vient. Ah, c'est ça. Non, Joe Biden versus Macron versus Trump. S'ils font une cour de danse.